But the battle over Kentucky's state budget is continuing. Last week, House Republicans in Kentucky filed budget bills ahead of the governor's former budget proposal, something the governor says violates state law. Today, we got our first look at part of what the governor intends to include in his plan, which he's going to be releasing on Thursday. WHS 11's political reporter Rachel Droz is here now with the story. Rachel?
Yeah, Doug, both the governor and the House Republican plans include big funding boosts for schools, but something missing from the House plan that the governor wants to see implemented next year is universal pre-K. In the governor's upcoming budget proposal, which he is releasing on Thursday, he's including a plan for all 4-year-olds in Kentucky to be eligible for free preschool. The governor wants the Commonwealth to spend $172 million to fund the program. According to the Kentucky Department of Education, more than 34,000 4-year-olds are not enrolled in public preschool or Head Start programs. The governor says doing this will help prepare kids for a life of learning and also provide free childcare for parents.
If you truly don't just talk about our workforce, but you want to get people back to work, it is going to be one of the biggest impacts we can have in the next year or year and a half.
The governor is also proposing a 5% pay raise for all school personnel, something that's only encouraged in the House budget bill. And the House plan would leave it up to the districts to pay for the pay bump.
According to the National Education Association, Kentucky ranks 42nd in the nation at starting salaries. Remember me saying I don't want to be 40th in anything ever again? This should be one of those areas that we change.
The governor also proposes continuing to fund full-day kindergarten. That is something that is also included in the House plan. In the past, the Commonwealth only paid for half the cost of full-day kindergarten, and districts had to make up the rest or charge families fees. Last year, lawmakers approved money to pay for 1 year of fully funded kindergarten. This would be the first time it would be included in the state's 2-year budget plan. And Republicans in both the House and Senate have supermajorities in Kentucky, so they can override any potential vetoes if they get enough support from their party members.
Well, Rachel, you know, this budgeting process happening this year has been pretty stunning, really sort of history making, I guess you'd say out of the ordinary.
Yeah, Doug, that is right. I've been covering state budgets for years, and I can tell you this is something I have never seen. Here's what happened so far. Friday afternoon, House Republicans released their budget package. Because the House did that before Beshear was able to release his own budget proposal, he decided to at least release part of his plan today. The governor says he'll put out the full proposal Thursday when he makes his formal budget address to the Commonwealth, so it's pretty abnormal for the legislature to release their budget bills prior to the governor making his or her formal proposal. In fact, Governor Beshear says it's never been done in Kentucky.
The House should look at the recommendation that we're going to provide on Thursday and say, can we do better? I mean, that's the way the process is supposed to work.
And House Speaker David Osborne says the budget package his caucus filed came after months of work and information provided by the administration and other stakeholders, and says those bills are just the first step in the budgeting process. Osborne says they'll consider the governor's recommendations and Senate priorities when crafting the final budget package. He also said he doesn't understand why this hasn't been done before, since people often complain about lawmakers wasting time at the beginning of session by not working on the budget. Doug?
Rachel Droz, thank you very much. Well, the governor's budget also includes a plan to establish a disaster relief and recovery fund. That way, coming in the event of flooding, tornadoes, or other natural disasters for the future, the state has a funding source it can pull from instead of using Kentucky's rainy day fund.